We're talking about an information system security officer in Sunnyvale, California. And before I start talking about this position in Sunnyvale, California, you should know that I have a awesome course that tells you how I'm able to get all of these back-to-back job offers and opportunities. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in knowing how to get in cybersecurity and make up to 6 figures, how I've been able to do this, go to this link here, check it out, check out the course. I also have some free stuff there if you're interested in risk management framework. I have some like free slides and stuff there. And every now and then I'll post something free there, stuff that I don't want to really put on YouTube, or stuff that's on YouTube but I have files there that you can actually download. I put them there. So if you're interested in doing what I've been able to do, which is remote IT for the last 5 years and how I've been able to get those positions, go check out this link right here. But it tells you how I've been able to do it, and if you implement these things, if you have some level of experience, especially in IT security. But okay, let's jump into this one. And this is saying that my name is Jeremy. I'm a IT recruiter at eTalent Network. We are the fastest growing blah 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 blah. Job title. Let's just get right into this. Information System Security Officer is in Sunnyvale, California. It's a 6-month with possibility of extension. Job description is below. I'm going to get to that. Security clearance, they don't say anything. Oh, a secret clearance. Sorry, they're requiring that you have a secret clearance. It doesn't say requiring that you're able to get one. This just says secret clearance. Job level 3. I don't know what that means, but let's just let's skim through the description. And what I'll do, if you are interested in this, if you want to actually read more about this, then go in the description below. I will post it there along with contact information. It's a good thing to, even if you don't necessarily want this job, what you can do is go there and sign up at the site that's down there, or contact them and say, hey, I'm in the market. Do you guys have anything for what I do, which is software engineering or whatever you do? Okay. Position description. Ideal candidate will perform duties of an information system security officer located at the client, and the client is in Sunnyvale, California. Ensure compliance to governing documents and security policies, and assist in the regulatory periodic assessments. And I'll explain what some of this stuff means in a minute. Implement and test state-of-the-art secure operating systems, networks, and database solutions. Stay current with the system vulnerabilities, and provide current security training to all system users. Oh, that's interesting. All right, so I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis and speaking in plain English here. They're expecting you to do risk management framework, which is not necessarily English if you've never heard that before. But what you do is, basically what you do is, you're in an environment. You're going to be in a secure government in office, right? And they have let's say 30 different servers, and then those 30 different servers are servicing 1,000 laptops and workstations. As a information system security officer, what they're saying here is you're going to make sure that this office environment is in line with federal regulations. There's certain regulations that have to be met within this environment. Things like every quarter you have to do scans, right? That I don't know if it's every quarter. I think it's continuous scanning. So let's say it's continuous scanning. That means that they are running a something like Nessus, which is a vulnerability scanner, and it's constantly running in this environment of 30 systems, right? It's what it's doing is looking for new vulnerabilities in the servers and all those 30 servers, and in all the 1,000 systems that it still service. And if they find those vulnerability patches, you have to patch them within X amount of time frame. So the government policy states that, yea, verily, you must scan continuously. That means scanning every day or whatever that is. That means, and then you have to have a policy in place that says we're going to patch these within X amount of time. And then you have to collect logs. There's a policy, a law that states that you must do these things, and here's how you should do them. Then the organization that you'd be working for has to have a policy that says here's exactly how we do those things. So that's what ensuring compliance to governing documents and security policies means. That's what that means. Stay current with vulnerabilities. Perform system and programming auditing. Okay, so this means that you're going to go out and make sure that all the systems are in compliance, and then there's documents called a system security plan in place. System security plan says, here's what these servers do, here's where they're located, here's all the systems they're attached to. It basically is like telling you the baseline of the system. That means like telling you like a detailed map of everything that's happening in that environment, and we are on top of it. We know all the vulnerabilities. If we know why they're not fixed right now, we have a plan in place to fix those. If we can't fix them immediately, we have a policy in place that says here's how we're going to collect audit logs, things like that. So you will be, as an information system security officer, you would be in charge of, not necessarily in charge, but you'd be one of the people who are managing that documentation piece, right? And in some cases you'd be doing, I'm not sure if you do hands-on stuff, but sometimes you do. Let's see. Let's actually see if there's anything hands-on here. Conduct risk assessments and provide recommendations for secure implementation configure. So what that means is you're going to go in this environment and you're going to say, okay, today we're performing a scan. Let's go ahead and make sure that the audit logs are on all of these. There's 30 servers. Okay, they're on. Oh, this one, it's not on this system. How can we fix that? So that's what they mean by recommendations for securing implementation of compliance. So you're seeing that this system's not compliant. How can we fix that? So you would recommend, okay, we need to turn these audit logs on. And then here's where it gets complicated. What'll happen is you want to turn those audit logs on, but that server doesn't have enough space to put the logs on it, right? Because it's almost maxed out. It's gotten like 98% of its storage space already gone. But so now you can't put the logs, and if you do, it'll clog the system and nothing will work. It's things like that come up that makes it a little bit more complicated. And that's just one example of many things. And so what you would do is you could do like a plan of action in Milestone. That's what it's called. But it basically is just a plan to say, hey managers, we will fix this, and here's who's going to fix it. System administrator so-and-so is going to fix this at this time. He needs 2 weeks to fix it because he has to clear out some of the space, and then we'll be able to open those logs up. Or it's going to take 3 months because this is a critical server and we can't delete anything off of it, but we have to put the logs on another system. So we're going to have the logs. We're going to write a script, or we're going to point those logs to go to its other server. But we got to implement that server, and that's going to take us X amount of months because we got to buy it, then we got to implement it, then we got to put security patches on it, and then so you see how it like does this like rabbit hole thing. So that's why it sounds like I'm just reading it here, but there's more things that go into it because there's so much going on. Create and maintain, submit information system security documents and report to regulatory agencies and leadership. Okay, so information system security officers do a lot of coordination with the owners of the system, with the managers. It's a lot of that kind of stuff. It's a lot of people who handle the money, handle regulatory agencies. You are the person who's going to meet up with third-party assessors who have to do a pen test on your system. For like, I'll give you a specific example. Like, another department will come to your agency, like wherever you work. Department of Homeland Security, for example, might come down and say, hey, we're doing a scam. We're doing a scam. We're doing a scan. We're going to run a scan on your network to see if you guys are compliant with the most current federal regulations. They'll run a scan, and you, the information system security officer, will be sitting down with them, and then they'll give you the scan and say, hey, here's what we found. And you'll sit down with them, and they'll ask you, hey, why is this? It says here that you guys don't have these logs on. Like, we don't have, looks like you guys aren't doing logs on this system. Why? And you'd sell it. Well, hell, we couldn't put the logs on this system because it's clogged up. It's 98% full, so we have to actually buy another server to put those logs on, and we're waiting for the server to come in right now. But we have a plan of action, and we have a plan in place that's ready to fix that. Here's who's going to do it, and they're going to fix it by X amount of time, and our leadership already knows about it. That's the kind of questions that you would be asked and what you would be expected to answer. Alright, let's go through this. There's a lot of stuff here. I like when they're verbose like this because this tells you exactly what they're trying to do. I'll just kind of skim through this so we don't make this any longer than it has to be. A lot of common stuff here. Provide architectural risk-based analysis of information assurance security. Cybersecurity features related to existing systems. Skills required. Windows client and server background, because they want you to know like how's the security work on those things. Some Unix and Linux technical experience, because again, you need to know something about the security features, and to know about the security features you have to know a little bit about the actual system itself. Knowledge of OS security requirements and information systems auditing experience. Like auditing means like collecting the logs on that system. That's important because you want to know like what is happening on the system, and the logs is the way to do that. The reason why logs are important is because every now and then people will do things they're not supposed to do on the systems, and it'll shut the whole system down, right? And then now you've lost a critical resource and people can't access it for a day. And they're like, well, what happened? If you don't have logs on, you might not be able to detect what actually occurred. Another reason why logs are super important is because sometimes what happens is it gets hacked. The system gets hacked, and with the logs, it'll tell you how many times a person tried to log into that system. And it'll say, okay, this person logged in 3,000 times in 3 seconds. The only thing that can do that is some kind of a script or a virus, you know, because they have a script that'll just keep running and trying to get into the system over and over and over again. You know that's a malware, that you know that's not supposed to be on the network. I mean, how fast can a person actually type in their username and password, right? So those are the kinds of things that you're trying to collect, errors, and then actually people trying to hack into the system. Stuff like that is why you want the audit logs on, and you have to be, they're expecting you to know how to turn the logs on and off and what they do and where they are and stuff like that. So that's it, guys. I'm going to put if you are interested in this, I will put the contact information and details in the description below. And like I said before, if you're interested in knowing how I'm able to get all these crazy opportunities all over the United States, this one's in Sunnyvale, California, you can go here, sign up to my little workshop, my course, and it tells you how I've been able to get all of these. And you can do it too. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. That's it, guys. I am out of here. Peace.